Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Lecturer, Miss Nunun Indrasari, MPD, and all my lovely friends. Let us offer thanks for the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His mercy, we can gather in this virtual and a good health. Well, the presentation today is about testing language component as grammar. Previously, let me introduce my group. My name is Rizka Ayudiana as moderator and a second speaker, and a Sylvia Anissa Putri as a first speaker. Well, now I'm going to read one by one our agenda that are the first session as opening. The second session is presentation by us as the speakers. The third session is question, answer, and opinion session in WhatsApp group. The last session is closing. Well, class, let's open our meeting by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. For the next agenda is presentation session. For the first turn will be given by Sylvia Anissa Putri as the first presenter. Sylvia Anissa Putri, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Sylviani Saputri. Here I will explain the first material about definition of grammar and type of tests. Okay, the structural foundation of our ability to communicate oneself is grammar. The more we understand how it works, the better we can keep track of the meaning and effectiveness of the language we and others use. 1. Descriptive grammar describe a language structure as it is utilized by speakers and authors. 2. Perspective grammar refers to a language structure as some individuals believe it should be utilized. Rules are important in both types of grammar, but in different ways. Linguistic test specialists in descriptive grammar research the participle or pattern that govern human usage of word, phrases, clauses, and sentences. Perspective grammarians, on the other hand, such as most editor and teacher, put forth guidelines for what they consider to be proper or incorrect language used. Next, types of tests. Before designing a test, it's important to distinguish between proficiency exam, achievement test, diagnosis test, and prognosis testing in this context. First, a proficiency test is one that assesses a candidate's overall language competence rather than a particular course. Second, a achievement test, on the other hand, assess student understanding of the information covered in a course. Third, a diagnostic test identifies a learner's strengths and weakness in a particular area. Fourth, a prognostic test tries to forecast how well a student will do in a class. Next, there are 7 types of tests, including 1. Multiple choice, 2. Transformation, 3. Gap filling, 4. True or false, 5. Open question, 6. Error correction, and the last, other technique. Next, multiple choice. Multiple choice tests can be used to assess a variety of skills, including grammar, vocabulary, reading, and listening, but keep in mind that pupils can still guess without knowing the correct answer. Example: choose the correct word to complete the sentence. Cook is blank 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 today for being one of Britain's most famous explorers. A. Recommended. B. Reminded. C. Recognized. D. Remembered. There is a stem and several options to choose from in this question type. The advantage of this question type are that it is simple to mark and that the presence of several distractors reduces guesswork. The disadvantage is that it can take a long time to develop effective multiple choice item. Writing effective multiple choice item is vital. In addition, it takes time for the candidate to comprehend the information, which causes issues with the exam validity. It allows level candidate must read a lot of complicated information before being able to answer a question. You may be testing their reading skill rather than their lexical knowledge. Transformation. Transformation are particularly useful for assessing grammar and form comprehension. If you want to access skills like reading or listening, this would not be the right question type. Example: complete the second sentence so that it has the same meaning as the first. Do you know what the time is, John? Asks Dave. Dave asks John, blank 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 what, blank 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 it was. This time, a candidate is required to rephrase a sentence depending on a provided instruction or keyword. The type of word is simple to grade, but the difficulty is that it does not require students to demonstrate understanding. A candidate may be able to simply rephrase sentence according to a formula. However, the fact that a candidate must rephrase the entire meaning of the line in the presenting example mitigates this disadvantage. Okay, that's enough from me. Back to moderator.
Thank you, Sylvia Anissa Putri, for the presentation of the material. Next presentation continued by me as the second speaker. Third, gut feeling. This type of work is also simple to mark and reasonable simple to write. The candidate completes the statement by filling in the blanks. A suggestion, such as a root verb that has to be modified or the first letter of the term, may be included on occasion. Gut feels can be used to assess a wide range of skills, including vocabulary, grammar, and listening for specific words. Fourth, true or false. This type is also simple to mark. However, guessing can lead to a lot of correct response. In this section, the candidate must determine if a statement is true or false. This question type is commonly used to assess understanding of listening or reading. 5. Open question. After reading or listening, or as part of an oral interview, the candidate must answer simple questions. It can be used for a variety of purposes. It may be more difficult and time-consuming to mark an open-ended answer, and there may be some subjectivity involved in assessing how complete the answer is, but it will also be a more accurate test. These question types are excellent for assessing any of the four abilities, although they are less effective for assessing grammar and vocabulary. 6. Error correction. In a sentence or passage, error must be identified and rectified. It could be an extra word or grammatical error or an omission of a word, among other things. One issue with this type of question is that certain problems can be addressed in multiple ways. Grammar and vocabulary, as well as readings and listening, benefit from error correction. 7. Other techniques. There are of course many other elocution techniques such as translation, essays, dictations, ordering words or phrase into a sequence, and sentence contractions. It's crucial to consider what you are trying to test, which procedures are ideal for the job, and which techniques have the most downside. Being aware of this will aid you in minimizing issue and producing a more successful test. C. The value of studying grammar. The study of grammar doesn't guarantee that you will become a better writer. However, by better knowing how human language works, you should be able to manage how you shape words into sentence and sentence into paragraphs. The English language is a living, dynamic system of communication. Well, class, now we are come to the question, answer, and opinion session. There will be one session is for 3 questions and continued in WhatsApp group. Finally, we are come to the last agenda. We would like to say thanks for Miss Nunun Indrasari MPD and all of the audience. Hopefully, the presentation will give benefit for us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.